Hello to everyone. I am Harmeet Malhotra and I will be discussing the topic software quality models related to software engineering. Now, first of all, what do you mean by software quality? So, different people have different meaning or perspective of quality of a software. Somebody says that it is conformance to the requirements. The other defines it as fitness for the purpose and or the level of the satisfaction and the value of the product. So, whenever we are talking about software quality, it has different meanings. So, according to the requirements of the user, the software should be able to fulfill all those requirements and it should be fit for the use. And the level of satisfaction it gives to the user plays a major role in the software quality. The value of the product parameters means that if somebody is investing or purchasing a software for use, is it worth purchasing that particular software? Will it be going to fulfill all the requirements? All the attributes, quality attributes have been taken care of. So all these perspectives are considered while considering the software quality. Now there are various software quality models. One thing is common among all the software quality models, that the attributes that they are using, both the functional and non-functional attributes, are common in all of them. Just the way of viewing them, the way of analyzing them or implementing them differs in these models. So the basic quality attributes like reliability, portability, functionality, usability, traceability, and so on, n number of attributes are there. So before studying the quality models, one should be aware of the meaning of these attributes. Now, Boehm's software quality model, it was introduced in 1978 by Barry Boehm. Fine, and it represents a hierarchical quality model that is very much similar to the McCall quality model. So it has predefined set of attributes and matrices are there, and each of these matrices contribute to the quality of a software. Now Boehm's quality model, you can see in the diagram, it says that there are various constructs or three categories. One is primary uses, next is intermediate constructs, and third one is primitive constructs. So when it is being used as a general utility, so it is the primary use. Maintenance also comes under the primary use. Then if it is being used as a utility, then there are certain intermediate constructs which include portability, reliability, efficiency, human engineering, and when we talk about the maintenance part, then testability, understandability, and modifiability. So when we talk about portability, then further it is subdivided into primitive constructs like device independence and completeness. Similarly, reliability is also related to completeness, accuracy, and consistency. Efficiency is related to device efficiency and accessibility. So all the intermediate constructs are further subdivided or subcategorized into primitive constructs that defines the quality of a particular software. So advantages are that it focuses and tries to satisfy the needs of all the users and tries to focus on the maintenance cost. So the maintenance cost must be very much effective, because once the product has been developed, the maintenance plays a major role in it. If we talk about disadvantages, it doesn't suggest how to measure the quality characteristics. Some matrices and all that might have been included into the model are missing in this model basically, and it is very difficult to evaluate the quality using the top down approach. Another model is ISO 9126 software quality model. ISO is not only applicable to software industry, it is applicable to all other industries as well. So ISO IEC 9126 standard is basically for the software quality models. So it describes a software quality model which categorizes the quality into 6 basic characteristics, again which are subdivided into sub characteristics. So these 6 characteristics are functionality, reliability, usability, efficiency, maintainability and portability. Now if we see in the diagram, it is showing that how the functional parameters are being further subcategorized into quality attributes, such as functionality is divided into suitability, accuracy, interoperability and security. And when we are talking about the reliability of a software, then the measurement should be in terms of maturity, fault tolerance and recoverability. Similarly, if we are talking about usability, then it should be easy to understand, learn and operate. So likewise, there are other efficiency, maintainability and portability attributes are there that are further sub-characterized or sub-categorized into sub-attributes. Then comes McCall software quality model. This model classifies the requirements into 11 factors, and these 11 factors are divided further into product operation, revision and transition. So when we are talking about the product operation, so it means the day-to-day usage of the product, how it is going to be operated. So the quality attributes associated with operation factors are correctness, reliability, efficiency, integrity and usability. Similarly, product revision. Revision means how we are reviewing the product, how we are going to make updates and changes into the product. So the quality attributes associated are maintainability, flexibility and testability. Then comes product transition, in which we consider portability, reusability and interoperability. So in this diagram we can see that how these three categories are further subdivided into quality attributes. Next is CMM, capability maturity model. CMM basically is a methodology that is used to develop and refine an organization software development process, and it has 5 levels. It was developed and is being promoted by Software Engineering Institute, that is a research and development center sponsored by US Department of Defense. The 5 levels that are there in CMM are initial, repeatable, defined, managed and optimized. Now let's see a brief description about all these levels. Initial level, basically at this level the processes are not in an organized manner and sometimes chaotic too, and success is more likely to be dependent upon the individual efforts and is not considered repeatable. At the repeatable level, that is the next level, the basic project management techniques are established by the organization depending upon the successes they have seen in the previous level. Then comes the defined level. An organization has developed its own standard and it has properly defined and documented processes at this level of the CMM. Managed level, basically an organization monitors and controls its own processes with the help of data collection and analysis. Then optimizing level, basically the processes are constantly being improved through monitoring feedback from current processes and introducing innovative processes to better serve the organization's needs. Now CMMI, it is a successor of CMM. Fine, and the goal of CMMI project was to improve the usability of CMM by incorporating or integrating the positive aspects from other models as well. So it is an approach that provides organizations with the essential elements for the effective processes, and it can be used as a guide for improvement across a single project, a division or an entire company. It also integrates traditionally separate organizational functions and tries to set the improvement goals and priorities and guide against the quality processes. So if we talk about the benefits, it has explicit linkage of management and engineering, both the activities are being integrated. Improved visibility into the product life cycle and engineering activities. leveraging from additional areas of best practices, robust high maturity practices, and visibility into additional organizational functions that are very critical or crucial for the products and the services they are dealing in. Next model is FURPS, or we can say FURPS plus. Basically, HP Hewlett Packard company has developed these quality factors, and they are using this as a quality model in their firm for evaluating various softwares. So FURPS plus means the extension. So earlier it was functionality, usability, reliability, performance, and supportability. But after the research, it was found out that there are certain more aspects that should be considered. So the plus sign was added afterwards, and the things that were included afterwards were implementation, that is the resource limitation, language and tools, hardware, and so on, interfaces, operations, packaging, and licensing. So now it comes to be functionality, usability, reliability, performance, supportability, plus design requirements, implementation requirements, interface requirements, and physical requirements. Another important quality standard is Six Sigma. Basically, it is used worldwide and is much more applicable to other industries as compared to the software industry. It is a comprehensive and flexible system for achieving, sustaining, and maximizing the business success. So, it is uniquely driven by close understanding of the requirements of the customer, disciplined use of facts, data, and statistical analysis, and diligent attention is given to managing, improving, and reinventing the previous business processes. Now, the target of perfection as defined by the Six Sigma is that the achievement of no more than 3.4 defects per million opportunities. So, this is the target set by the Six Sigma. So, the companies who are fulfilling this target can only get this type of certification. The principles can apply to a wide variety of processes, and it follows a 5-phase improvement process, that is define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So, define the problem or the opportunity or the processes as per the requirements of the customer. Measure means that all the measurements, data collected must be compiled and displayed. Analyze means you need to scrutinize the data and the processes so as to find the improvement opportunities. Improve means you are generating some new solutions, coming up with some innovative ideas for solving the particular problem. And control means you are tracking and verifying the stability of the improvement and the predictability of the solution. So the terms here, like opportunity is what? It is any step of the process or the material or design element that might lead to the defect or the failure of the whole product. Defect means anything wrong with the product, and DPMO, that is defects per million opportunities, this is the basic unit of measurement of quality as defined by Six Sigma. So here is the formula. So defects per million opportunity is equal to number of defects into 10 raised to the power 6 divided by the total number of opportunities. This is how the target of Six Sigma is calculated. So thank you. With this we have covered all the major software quality models and their implementations and policies regarding, and these models are very much necessary, and every organization must follow this model so as to come up with a good quality product. Thank you so much.